Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 184 based on novel. So let's start. Dragon 9-Day Oyster Monarch was also somewhat puzzled. He believed that his spiritual will had leaped out of the braided cage, and guiding a grand formation of over 10,000 cultivators should not be much different from that of Luofong. Why hasn't Luofong Divine Emperor come? Dragon 9-Day Oyster Monarch asked. I inquired Bo Xiu, and Bo Xiu said Luofong Divine Emperor is in seclusion. All communications have been cut off, with no disturbances allowed, explained Divine Emperor Jiku. In seclusion? Dragon 9-Day Oyster Monarch nodded. It seems this primordial prisoner will continue to wreak havoc for some time. Over 10,000 cultivators formed a grand array, looking from afar at the lava prisoner. The lava prisoner glanced in all directions, disdainfully chuckling as the cultivators flew far away, none daring to approach. Despicable and weak cultivators, with my power sealed to this degree, you still can't handle me, ha ha ha, you truly are weak. The cultivators felt quite aggrieved upon hearing this, but indeed, they couldn't do anything. Even when joining forces, they couldn't harm it in the slightest. At this moment, in the large-scale primordial hall, Xiao-Ji and Yufeiya, these two high-level primordial life forms, watched this confrontation from afar. Luofong went into seclusion. Xiao-Ji slightly frowned. We specifically chose an opponent for him, yet he went into seclusion. He just exchanged for the sky-splitting saber, so naturally, he needs to study it thoroughly. Given his temperament, his seclusion shouldn't last too long, Yufeiya said. Let's wait a bit more. As high-level primordial life forms, they had ample patience. Moreover, they were well aware of Luofong's growth journey, having spent very little time reaching this stage. How long could a single seclusion last? Luofong was focused on the highest level of destructive mysteries contained in the sky-splitting saber. These mysteries made Luofong deeply fascinated. This fascination lasted for more than 100 epochs. My life and death Tao is only lacking a sliver of spiritual touch to reach perfection at the half-primordial level. The more grandiose destructive mysteries of the sky-splitting saber can serve as resources for the primordial life and death Tao, Luofong thought to himself. The half-primordial life and death Tao, compared to the primordial life and death Tao, was vastly inferior. To comprehend the primordial level life and death Tao, Luofong knew he needed to integrate a great many mysteries into it, including the Star Tower blood scale, the mysteries of the sky-splitting saber, which were only part of the resources. Even a complete primordial life and death Tao might not be achievable with just the Star Tower blood scale and the sky-splitting saber mysteries. Breaking laws with force is too distant for me. Since there is such a legend, there must have been cultivators who succeeded, becoming lords because of it, Luofong thought. There's no need to think that far ahead, first find that touch of the spirit. Luofong immediately exited seclusion. It was only then that he saw the transmissions he had previously cut off. A previously unknown primordial prisoner appeared in the dark sacred realm? Even the massive formation formed by over 10,000 cultivators couldn't handle it. Luofong was somewhat surprised and also intrigued. Under the braided cage, he could rarely find an opponent. This primordial prisoner seemed to be a suitable opponent for him. Let's have a look. Luofong immediately left the large-scale primordial hall, heading straight to the location documented in the intelligence where the primordial prisoner was. Luofong traversed through heaven and earth, each step covering vast distances. In just a few hundred steps, he was already able to see the towering figure of the lava prisoner from afar. It is indeed a high-level primordial life form, Luofong immediately discerned. The aura of the other was incredibly terrifying. Only by being sealed and suppressed could he confront it. It has appeared for over 100 epochs, and there are still only about 1,000 cultivators observing from around. Luofong glanced over. In the past 100 epochs, during the most gathered times, more than 100,000 cultivators had converged here. However, Dragon 9-Day Oyster Monarch's formation could at most lead over 10,000 cultivators. Beyond that, it exceeded his range of control. Therefore, even with over 100,000 cultivators gathered, without a unified formation, their power was scattered, still rendering them only capable of wounding the lava prisoner. The lava prisoner, its body too vast and resilient, with exceptionally strong recovery capability. Such a robust body. Luofong was thrilled to see his prey. Luofong has arrived. Finally here. High above, a silver-haired man and a woman in a fiery red robe had already appeared. They had released this primordial prisoner, waiting for this very day. Luofong's strength is too formidable. Even among fusion Dao cultivators, few are so powerful. Under the braided cage, he could find no match. Only by suppressing the power of high-level primordial life could it provide him with adequate pressure. Qiu Ji watched from afar. Perhaps in this battle, his life and death Dao could reach complete perfection. In the future, in our cultivator camp, we might gain another world-level primordial life, Euphaya also said. Unlike the innate primordial life camp, in the cultivator camp, the number of world-level primordial life forms was much fewer. The two of them carefully observed the upcoming battle. Let's give it a try first. Luofong immediately extended his hand. His arm suddenly expanded, and his palm directly tore open a rift in the world, carrying an infinite terrifying power. It directly crossed through the rift and descended in front of the lava prisoner. The towering lava prisoner was initially sitting there and suddenly saw a giant hand extending through the rift, moving at incredible speed. The lava prisoner immediately sensed something amiss, and promptly swung its arm to block. Boom! This strike of Luofong, with a massive body leveraging an energy reserve of 1.2 billion times, under the command of the secret treasure, Undying Heart, unleashed a tremendous power. This strike forcefully hit the lava prisoner's blocking arm, and also impacted into its chest, causing even a depression in the chest of the lava prisoner. A low, deep sound resonated across the world. The towering lava prisoner sitting there was directly sent flying, and while it flew, its lava body carved a deep giant trench into the ground. This formed a colossal canyon stretching billions of kilometers. The lava prisoner lay at the end of this billion-kilometer-long canyon, its chest marked with cracked, molten blood flowing, and it was somewhat dazed at the moment. It had been stunned. Satisfying, truly satisfying. After that strike, Luofong only felt an exhilarating thrill. After all, in the dark sacred realm, he had never unleashed himself so freely. Back when he confronted Secret Ruin's Divine Emperor and 14 others, merely by standing there and causing time-space to collapse, without even moving, the enemies were all brought before him, all kneeling. And with his even greater strength now, it was increasingly hard to find a worthy opponent. Luofong had to hold back his power when interacting with other cultivators, worried about accidentally bumping or smashing a few to death. Encountering this lava prisoner, Luofong could finally unrestrainedly go all out. It was a truly satisfying strike. This primordial prisoner's strength is still a bit lacking. Qiu Ji and Euphaya in the high sky also observed the situation. Quickly lift part of the ceiling, increase its power by another fold, urged Euphaya. The lava prisoner lay at the end of the massive chasm, somewhat incredulous as he looked at the black-clothed, black-haired man appearing in the distance. A lowly cultivator within the braided cage can wield such power. The lava prisoner couldn't believe it. Immediately, it sensed that the force sealing its physical body, soul, and life core, penetrating every part, suddenly loosened slightly. Even with just a slight release, a portion of the lava prisoner's originally vast and mighty power broke free from the seal, instantly enhancing its strength. The energy coursed through its entire body, and its chest fully recovered. The two guardians of the dark sacred realm have lifted the seal slightly. The lava prisoner, being a formidable presence even among high-level primordial lives, was naturally shrewd and quickly surmised the intentions of the two guardians. They are planning to use me to temper this cultivator. Heh. And still within the braided cage, already this strong. This cultivator's talent and potential are terrifying. Indeed worth the two guardians' trouble. The lava prisoner's heart was boiling with hatred. If there's a chance, kill this cultivator for good. Those two guardians will definitely be furious and might even be punished by the top ranks of the cultivator camp. The lava prisoner saw no vitality and only wished to retaliate against the cultivator camp fiercely. If this cultivator knows the clone technique, there's nothing I can do. But, from what I understand, most cultivators in the braided cage don't have avatars. I need to find an opportunity to deliver a lethal blow and eradicate this genius cultivator, the lava prisoner thought. The two guardians treated it as a tool. Yet, a tool can also backlash. These prisoners are originally from the innate primordial life camp and are our mortal enemies. Now imprisoned, they are filled with resentment. Chio-ge, standing high above, watched the scene. The stronger its hatred, the greater threat it poses to Luofong. On Luofong's path, his life form is extraordinarily vast. Even if the primordial prisoner severely damages Luofong, the chances of killing this avatar are slim. Euphaya smiled slightly. Even if this avatar is truly destroyed, it's still beneficial, as it'll surely provoke Luofong even more. They hoped this battle would help Luofong break through. Boom! Amidst the crevices of heaven and earth, Luofong's figure instantly appeared in front of the lava prisoner, with his raised arm slashing down like a blade. The power of life and death cut through all obstacles, even slicing open the membrane of heaven and earth. So fast! The lava prisoner, under the seal, couldn't fly and moved slowly. Facing this attack from Luofong, it could only slightly turn its body, taking the blow with its shoulder. This slash from Luofong. The lava prisoner's body sunk directly into the earth like a stake, half buried, with only its upper body still above ground. Hehehe. The lava prisoner grinned, revealing several rows of teeth as sharp as saw blades, interlocking like a jungle. Got stronger? Luofong immediately noticed that in the first palm strike earlier, the primordial prisoner was utterly powerless, knocked away without resistance. But now, the more ferocious slash, the lava prisoner withstood it, remaining unscathed. Cultivator, your strength seems a bit weak, the lava prisoner grinned at Luofong. If I wasn't sealed, a single finger could crush you. As it spoke, suddenly, 8 arms extended from the lava prisoner's body, attacking simultaneously with 8 rocky arms. Luofong vanished like an illusory bubble. I'm too slow. The lava prisoner frowned slightly, as virtual chains permeated its body, making every move sluggish. Even the surprise attack with 8 arms at close range failed to touch this cultivator. Life and death reincarnation. In an instant, over 10 Luofong appeared, surrounding the lava prisoner from all sides, including the top, launching consecutive attacks. Whether hand techniques, fist techniques, or claw techniques, each move utilized the half-primordial life and death path, using Luofong's arms as weapons, chaining one move after another, even leveraging the previous move's power to enhance the subsequent attacks. The moves were like life and death reincarnation, the vitality growing denser, and the destructive aura becoming increasingly terrifying. Almost in a blink, Luofong unleashed tens of thousands of strikes. These tens of thousands of strikes brought immense satisfaction to Luofong. Every move mobilized as much of his 12 billion-fold size as possible. Under such extreme pressure, Luofong's control over his body began to improve further. The lava prisoner's moves were slower, unable to touch Luofong, and in an instant, it took tens of thousands of impacts. Each of these tens of thousands of strikes echoed like the roar of the heavens and earth. Phut, the lava prisoner spat, its mouth flowing with lava-like blood, while its body bore countless scars, disappearing with the flowing lava. Your moves are too weak, the lava prisoner ignored the trickling blood, looking at Luofong, 35,000 strikes, and this is all? Oh, the wounds are gone now. Who? Luofong's figure flickered, and a cyan grey spear appeared in his hand. This cyan grey spear was one of the many life and death secret treasures Luofong purchased after arriving in the dark sacred realm. With his current realm, especially after studying the sky-splitting saber, he could draw even more fascination from the spear. Boom! The spear in Luofong's hand suddenly thrust forward, trembling slightly as it thrust. Secret patterns emerged brightly along the spear shaft, a terrifying force trying to pierce through everything. The lava prisoner was startled. The spear had already pierced its chest. However, with its towering and massive physique, its body extremely thick, the spear forcefully pierced halfway through the lava prisoner's body, instantly pulling out and thrusting a second time into the lava prisoner's frame. Yet, during the second thrust, an invisible force within the lava prisoner entangled and hindered Luofong from withdrawing the spear. You cannot escape. The lava prisoner's 2 of its arms at that moment also grasped the spear shaft. Close combat makes it a bit troublesome to kill you, Luofeng's figure flickered to a distance. Instead of retrieving the long spear, he simply smiled slightly, and the endless blood sea spread out, sweeping across the vast surrounding heavens and earth. In the depths of this endless blood sea, there were 2 formation diagrams and a black tower. At this moment, Luofeng activated these 3 life and death Dao secret treasures. Among the 10 or so life and death secret treasures he purchased, these 3 were the most suitable to use alongside the undying blood sea for setting formations. Combining 3 grand arrays. Powers aligned. This was now the strongest blood sea array Luofeng could employ. Boom tilde tilde tilde. The blood sea roiled. Although the lava prisoner was massive, it was engulfed by the blood sea, and layers of formations covered and constrained it. Under the blood sea array, the lava prisoner felt bound in layers. Its 8 arms struggled to move, barely able to unleash about 20 or 30% of its strength. How can the body of this cultivator in the braided cage be so colossal? Such terrifying energy reserves, nearly reaching those of some high-level primordial lives. The lava prisoner was somewhat panicked. Although it was a mighty existence among high-level primordial lives, its power was sealed. In such a sealed state, facing Luofeng who wielded numerous secret treasures, it was utterly powerless to resist. My life and death Dao centers on life, with destruction as a supplement. The explosive power in close combat is somewhat lacking, Luofeng thought, utilizing secret treasures, leveraging formations to amplify the advantages of life forms, is my current strongest state. The lava prisoner appeared in the dark sacred realm over 100 eras ago. Initially, it attracted a large number of cultivators, but it never won a battle, gradually reducing the number of surrounding cultivators. Currently, there were only about 1,000 cultivators still around. It's Luofeng Divine Emperor. Luofeng Divine Emperor took action and heavily injured that primordial prisoner with one palm. They watched the battle scene excitedly. Finally, a cultivator capable of overpowering this primordial prisoner appeared, suppressing it one-on-one. What a formidable array! They watched closely as the endless blood sea array enveloped the lava prisoner, who struggled and resisted within it, but its efforts were visibly weakened. Back then, Dragon 9 Daoist Monarch, together with over 10,000 cultivators, couldn't threaten this primordial prisoner with their combined array. At one point, even over 100,000 cultivators, with scattered offensives, couldn't threaten the primordial prisoner. Luofeng Divine Emperor can suppress this primordial prisoner all by himself. Is he stronger than hundreds of thousands of cultivators? In the history records of the Dark Sacred Realm, there has never been an invincible existence to such a degree. These observing cultivators discussed, mentioning the 3 routes to invincibility. In the Dark Sacred Realm's history, no half-primordial fusion Dao cultivators were born, just the 2 more common routes. Manifesting one spiritual will to escape the braided cage, excavating the potential of a world-level primordial bloodline. These 2 kinds of invincible existences were indeed far less imposing than Luofeng. In reality, these cultivators were unaware. Among fusion Dao cultivators, Luofeng was very special. He didn't pursue life and death balance, but rather focused on Star Tower blood scale, taking the extreme path, pursuing the immense limits of life forms. While the difficulty of the path increased, the power was indeed much greater. The lava prisoner continued to sink in the endless blood sea, its resistance weakening continuously. Suddenly, it saw a giant pill furnace appear within the blood sea, the furnace lid already open. Not good. The lava prisoner knew it was in trouble, yet it could no longer resist. Capture. Enveloped by the formation, the lava prisoner fell directly into the pill furnace, with the lid closing instantly. Among the 10 or so life and death secret treasures Luofeng acquired, this pill furnace was the strongest in terms of refining enemies. The endless blood sea returned to calm, and Luofeng sat cross-legged above it, looking at the pill furnace that floated to the sea's surface. The furnace's exterior was a deep green color, and when Luofeng activated it, its surface was covered in a secret pattern of green and black intertwining. Sizzle tilde 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 tilde. Within the pill furnace, the lava prisoner was being refined. This cultivator is too troublesome. The lava prisoner originally planned to conceal some of its strength, to finish off the cultivator at a critical moment. But with the Blood Sea array, it couldn't utilize its power and unknowingly ended up inside this pill furnace. Xiao-Ge, let the lava prisoner increase its strength again. Euphaya observed everything from the high altitude, frowning. It poses no threat to Luofong. If it strengthens further, pollution might emerge. Xiao-Ge said. Just fully lock its soul. Even if there's some minor power pollution, the impact is minimal, Euphaya remarked. Xiao-Ge nodded. Soul pollution was indeed most severe, while slight power pollution was no big deal. Luofong is too powerful. I already chose a primordial prisoner with the strongest body, yet I am still forced to release a tiny amount of its true strength. Xiao-Ge, holding a command token, cautiously loosened a bit more restraint. This release of restraint already broke a certain limit. The lava prisoner would now truly unleash a tiny portion of its high-level primordial life essence. Even if it was just a sliver, it was still high-level primordial strength. Such power was already polluting to divine emperors. Sitting cross-legged atop the Blood Sea, Luofong, while controlling the life and death pill furnace to refine the lava prisoner inside, suddenly sensed the struggles and resistance within the furnace rapidly increasing. This video will end here.